Welcome to CS Design Studio's presentation, The Marketing Corner, with co-host Shawn Campbell and Wyatt Chambers. The Marketing Corner is your source for the latest and greatest in today's world of marketing and entrepreneurship. And now, without further ado, it's Shawn Campbell and Wyatt Chambers.
Welcome back to the CS Design Studios presents The Marketing Corner with yours truly, Shawn Campbell. And, of course, as always, we have engineer extraordinaire Lily / social media specialist / podcast Padawan.
Yes.
You did the applause a little bit too early. I want to also wish you a happy early birthday, Lily.
Thank you.
Oh, happy birthday.
Thank you.
What are the big plans this
You're gonna
weekend?
turn, what, like 15?
I'm turning 19, and
Wow.
again,
Yes.
I'm gonna watch my little brother play football
Yep.
tomorrow night.
Yeah.
Very excited. It's his homecoming game.
Yeah. So he's going to kill it.
Yeah.
Record
yeah, he is.
3.5 sacks.
Yes.
And many
Hoping
quarterback
so.
pressures, interception, return back for a touchdown, the whole 9 yards.
All of them.
Make sure you get it on this highlight reel.
Okay.
And just put that all over YouTube and everything, right? Use these skills you have developed and fine-tuned.
I'm working on it. I'm his manager.
And manager, soon-to-be agent.
Yep.
Yeah. Well, again, happy birthday, Lady.
Thank
And
you.
thank you for being here and making things fun and easy and all the creativity you bring. You're awesome. So one thing that you and I get to do on a weekly basis is we get to hang out with cool people.
Yeah, we do.
And we get to hang out with people that we always want to be in a room where we are filled with people that know more than us in some areas. A couple of weeks ago, we were blessed to have Veronica Garcia,
Yep.
an amazing realtor here in Southern Arizona. Last week was Guy Welsh,
Yeah.
who taught us a lot about managing our finances and his interpretation of today's market, which was pretty cool. And we talked a little baseball and Ironman with him, right?
Yep.
Today, I mean, we're continuing to ascend to the top, Lily. We have a good friend of mine who I ran into last night at the Monica downtown. He was having a dinner with his friends and family, and I've been excited about this all week, Mo.
Yeah.
Welcome to the
I'm
show,
ramped
Mo.
up. Yeah, thanks for inviting me.
Yeah.
Looking forward to doing this.
Yeah, Mo Rousso. I don't know how to explain to people what you do because you have such an incredible amount of talent and knowledge in so many areas in the world of business. Why don't you just kind of give us an overview on when we think Mo Rousso, what do you want people to think? That's a good one. Huh?
Yeah, that is a good one.
It's going to get harder as we go.
It's like what is your superpower question?
Mm-hmm.
So ostensibly, just being like a guy that's been around the block for a number of years
Mm-hmm.
and not having any more hair because I've done a lot of different things in the business world. I've, owned and exited 5 companies
Mm-hmm.
and now I'm doing business coaching, which really means that I work directly with business owners and their leadership teams in helping them achieve their goals for their business faster, easier than they had thought possible.
Yeah. And tell us a little bit about, the businesses you built. I mean, you don't have to get down to the specifics, but what was your motive for each one? Because typically when you meet somebody, it's not just one business that's built and they leave and retire. Did you ever have the itch to kind of retire after that first or second business, or?
Never. Retirement isn't in my future at all.
Yeah.
Because to me, once you retire, it's just a slow march to death. So I'm not going to do that.
So you and I will not retire together, Mo.
Yeah, so I'm planning on staying busy as long as I possibly can. Even if I have to ride my little scooter in, I'll do that. But.
Where do you office? I mean, where are your clients today? What are some of the clients that you most look forward to working with?
I actually prefer to work with smaller businesses, like in the up to, small $50 million a year revenue range.
Just chump change.
Yeah, but I would say, I've helped clients with like $1 million annual revenue, and then we quickly ramp it up. And I feel like I get a lot more traction that way
Right.
than with a larger company that has a lot of bureaucracy and layers that you got to
Yeah.
work your way through. And
Yeah.
being an entrepreneur, I'm just driven to get results as quickly as possible.
Yeah. In today's world, when you walk into a small business, what are the three most glaring areas today, most common areas where a business needs some help?
So most common areas, number one, is having the right talent on board. Two is making sure that everyone in the company is accountable. And by accountable, I mean they're going to perform as they said they were going to perform or hit the metrics as they've agreed to hit them, that sort of thing. So accountability is really big. And three, I would say, is helping them build a killer culture. Because having a killer, unique culture really is the main attractor for top shelf talent.
In your opinion, and we just had this discussion here at CS Designs, a couple of weeks ago. What's more important to you when you hire somebody, talent or their hunger?
I would say it's hunger. Yeah.
And why?
Because if they're hungry, that means that they will tend to be accountable and they will learn the tools that they need to be successful.
What are some of the top detriments to a company's culture? And conversely, what are some of the things that really feed into and strengthen that culture?
The top detriments typically are having micromanagers at the top. People who...
I'll stop micromanaging you, Lily.
Yeah, don't do that.
I'm sorry, Lily.
Because, she was quite frankly asked me earlier if I knew anyone.
I know.
So.
That's why she met you at the front and handed you the resume.
So she was there.
Yeah.
So micromanaging is a big no-no. There's just a lot of things that business owners and leadership teams can do, especially with the younger, workforce that we have now.
Yeah.
People are saying or, have always said derogatory remarks about a lot of young people. But
Right.
the fact of the matter is they're not motivating them correctly. Right. And the number one motivation, of course, is the culture. The second thing people like to see as a young employee in a business is how can this company help me develop the skills I need to become a better, well-rounded contributor to the company. So they want to see that those opportunities made available to them.
Yeah.
And there's 5 or 6 other things that that they're looking for.
Yeah. You kind of brought up, the younger workforce and kind of the bad rap they get. Last night, I was in a discussion and I bit my tongue. I didn't say anything because it really, to be honest, it really irritated me. It was a woman who has 4 children. They're all in college, and she insisted that they not go to college here in Tucson because there was quote unquote zero opportunity for success in Tucson. That she wanted better for her kids, and they needed to be in big metropolitan areas. I don't agree with that at all because she insisted that her kids needed to work with the big corporations to be quote unquote successful. It irritated me because, I think it feeds into the stigma that the younger workforce gets. I think a lot of that is just kind of dumped down upon them from quote unquote older guys like us. You could be very successful. Why don't you have your kids create their own? And what determines them to be successful? To me, success is being happy. And it doesn't matter if you make $40 or $50 or $60 or $300,000. There's different levels of success. So, I mean, just kind of what are your thoughts on that, on her position on that? Just, do you think I'm totally wrong for thinking that way, or?
You mean as far as what the definition of success is, or if Tucson is a viable market for a young employee?
Both.
I personally believe there's opportunity everywhere.
Yeah, me too.
We live we live in an environment of plenty. You just need to be able to see the opportunity and seize it.
Right.
Right. And then we need to provide our young people with the tools and the motivation that they need. And by motivation, it's really helping them connect the work with something that's meaningful to them.
Yeah.
Right. So if you can connect the work with something meaningful, they'll give you 110%.
Yeah, I agree that Tucson's full of opportunity. I think it's one of the reasons why my mentality, and you and I have talked about this before, I know I'm not the most intelligent, I'm not the most creative, I'm not the most whatever. But the one thing I have in my favor is that I will outwork you, period. You know, when I wake up every day, that's my mentality. Someone's out to get my lunch, and I'm going to protect it. So, but I don't think that. I think there's too many participation medals. And I had one given to me in the mail the other day, and I threw it away. I don't know if you knew that. I had
Another one?
no, it was the one from a month ago. Oh. But I had it up one morning, and it came in. I'm like, why do I even show this? I just threw it away. That ain't me.
What was it for?
It was for a 5K that I haven't even ran yet, Mo.
Oh.
I signed up for it. They're all, here's your participation medal. We'll see you in 2 months. I'm like,
What if I don't do it?
What if I don't do it? And it's like this climate today, and I once the real world hits somebody, you don't hand out participation medals for being just showing up. You got to perform.
Absolutely, yeah, for sure.
Yeah. Let's see. If you're gonna, I wrote really sloppy here.
And tiny. Yeah, your eyes are really old. I don't know how you can read.
I know. If you're going to help start up a new startup today, right?
Yep.
What is, what did I write? What's relevant today for a startup that you would insist upon as being implemented or a part of the strategy that wasn't relevant 10 years ago?
That wasn't relevant 10 years ago. Well, it's mainly around technology, I would think, off the top of my head. There's been a lot of science done on the human side, what motivates employees and all that. But, I don't think people have really changed much in the last 10 years as to what they're looking for out of a career or a job even. But what has changed over time is technology. Because, I look at when I started college, there wasn't even calculators available. I went to engineering school with a slide rule.
Wow.
And then since then, I've seen all sorts of things happen. Calculators, personal computers, microwave, for crying out loud, just a lot of stuff has come on up. And I think if you're able to leverage technology to help you with your business in terms of, making your processes more efficient or effective and so forth, that's another thing that young workers are looking for, is they're looking for what they call the bionic workforce. So they want to have access to those kinds of technological tools.
Right.
Because one, it appeals to them. It's kind of fun. It's kind of edgy, that sort of thing.
Yeah.
But two is they want to develop those skills as well.
Right. How much of an advantage? Because I think, like, for me, it's a huge advantage of being through this era. Because, it's like, I remember the days where it's like, I want to call my girlfriend, so I got to go out to the payphone. I undo her, I take out the phone number and I do the dial phone. And going through that age of technology, from the Walkman to the CD thing, and everything's on our phones today.
Right.
Do you think that offers you and I an advantage, that we've been through that we have maybe some of those old school techniques that are implemented today?
I think it just speaks to your wealth of experience, and anytime you have that encyclopedia of experience that you can refer to, has got to be an advantage.
Yeah. Do you think it's how much of an advantage do you think? Because I think I like to think that I blend old school techniques and methods to today's marketing and what we do. We absolutely use AI every day, a ton, right? But at the same time, you need to know how to prompt it.
Right.
And you need to know how to proofread it. And you need to know that it makes sense, right? So given the fact that you and I back in the day used to have like number 2 lead pencils and used to write out our term papers, do you think
In a blue book.
in a blue book? Yeah. And we
Yeah.
had to stain the margins and,
Right.
you know, my cursive and my handwriting's
double
horrible
space
today.
and
right.
yeah.
And had to be so many words. I think it gives us a huge advantage.
Oh, I think so, especially given the example you just gave.
Yeah.
Yeah, because Chat GPT or whichever AI people are using, at the end of the day, it needs someone intelligent to
Right.
basically drive it to
Right.
the type of information you want it to
Yeah.
generate.
Yeah. I see articles daily on how to write prompts. And to me, that's like, how would you not know how to write a prompt? You know, when we're putting together our articles or our 1,000-word blogs, I mean, we're pretty descriptive of what we want. And I think that the quality of what it produces is all based on the prompts we use.
Yep.
Yeah. So yeah.
Yeah.
We talked a little bit about how you're not going to retire.
Nope.
I don't feel I'll ever retire either. I feel alive every morning, and I don't see myself maybe being semi-retired and, kind of weaning off,
I agree. Yeah, maybe not having a full client load in my case, but
Right.
maybe a 20 to 30% client load.
Right. How important for you, Mo, is that the work-life balance is having an outlet to kind of outside of what you do? Is that important to you, or is it? How much do you think about that?
I really don't think about it, but I'm at a position in life with the career choice I've made now that I can take advantage of downtime, or not downtime, but free time in order to travel and
Come in and do podcasts.
come do podcasts, head up to Montana in the summer for a couple weeks of fly fishing. I mean, whatever, right?
Yeah.
So I think it's important that people, I don't know if you remember the old Stephen Covey book, 7 Habits of Highly Effective People. Yeah. So his 7th habit is sharpen the saw, which basically means take care of your mental, spiritual, and physical self. And that's really important to do. If you consume yourself with work, you're actually going to suffer as a physical and spiritual being.
Right. Is that something that is based off of a 40-hour week for you?
No.
Yeah.
To me, it's like what work needs to be done and when does it need to get done by, and make sure it gets done by them.
That type of mentality, admittedly, I lack empathy for people who don't think like you and I. If it's Sunday night at 8 o'clock and I want to get something done, I just do it.
Thank you for tuning in to the Marketing Corner. Follow us on Facebook or visit us at csdesignsstudios.com today.